if you want to build a conversation-based chatbot, it's going to take you a lot of time to create the array that contains all of the the answers and responses, and also that contains a conversation between a possible user and the chatbot. So you would have to spend a lot of time to create that conversation, and you probably need to create more than one array in order to make your chatbot smarter, and also in order to train your chatbot on as many responses as possible. But fortunately, here in Python, there is a class that's gonna help us get a conversations that have already been created by many other people, and instead of creating your own conversation, you can get all of these conversations and use them instead of wasting a lot of time on building this conversation or conversations. But I would say that sometimes it pays off to create your own conversation, because you might want to kind of respond with specific responses. So if you want to spend the time building your own conversation or conversations, then you can go for it. So there's no problem with that. The only problem I would say is time, because it's going to take you a lot of time. But if you don't have time for this, then you can follow along and use the method that I'm about to give you. So let me show you how you can get conversations that have already been created, and use them to train your chatbot instead of creating your own conversation. So first of all, you need here to import what's called the Chatbot corpus trainer. This is very important, and of course you need to have already installed all of these packages in order for this method to work. So you need to have installed all of these. You need to go through all of them and install them. And now what we need to do is that we need to use this class in order to get the already created dialogues and conversations, and train our chatbot on, instead of training our chatbot on this array. So I'm going to remove this array, and then here I'm going to create, I'm also going to remove this list trainer, and also I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to create an object from this class. So I'm going to create here an object, Chatbot corpus trainer, and then it takes this object, takes the chatbot. So it takes this bot. So I'm going to pass here the bot, and then I'm going to store this object in a new variable called trainer. And now what we need to do is that we need to train our chatbot on the data that will be provided by this class. So I'm going to say here trainer.train, and then instead of passing an array of strings that contains the conversation, we need to pass here what's called the chatterbot.corpus.english. So this is gonna train our chatbot on conversations in the English language that have already been created by other people on several topics, including money, science, health, psychology. So the chatbot is going to be trained on all of these topics, and it's going to look so smart, because it's kind of capable of sending any response to any of the text that the user is going to send to the chatbot. Let me now save our script, and let's run our script and show you what's going to happen. So I'm going to start debugging. I'm going to start here debugging our script. So as you can see, what's going to happen is that the chatbot will be trained on several topics. Here we have AI, and then it's going to start training our chatbot on other topics as well. So here we have computers, and we have also conversations. We have other things as well. Let me show you now. We have here, we have also here food, we have greetings, we have gossip, health, history, humor, many things. And by the way, you need to have, again, you need to have installed all of these packages and modules in order for this to work successfully. So now that our chatbot has been trained on a variety of topics, let me interact with our chatbot. So I'm going to say here, what or how are you? Let's just keep it simple. How are you? How are you? And then I'm going to hit enter. And as you can see, the response is just an artificial intelligence. Let me say, what's your favorite food? Favorite food. And let me hit enter. And here it says, I don't eat. Let me say, how much money do you have? Do you have? And it says no need for material possessions. So it worked successfully, and now our chatbot is very, very smart and is kind of capable of answering pretty much a lot of questions on several topics. And this is awesome if you want to build a conversation based chatbot.